Tony, that's the deal with Discord Nitro. It's gone. You'll have to watch these streams in pleb 1080.
Yeah.
No longer 1080p 60 FPS on the when I stream
I've
these
already
games
got
to you.
I've already got the pleb non-card rate accelerated mode anyway, so it's not.
It won't
much
make a
of
difference. They let you.
No.
So this is the VR roundup for Tangerine. So we're starting with the Salmon Max VR demo. This time it's virtual. I really wanted to try this in the demo festival because they showed this in the trailer and then they pulled it at like the last second, and it was going to be an Oculus exclusive. And I was like, oh, okay, but then they put it back. It's now back. All right, I wanted to go skeleton for you because I know you're a skeleton.
Oh yeah.
But then I was like, no, it will creep me out to be a skeleton, so I'm going to put Mickey Mouse hands back on.
It would creep you out.
It would be. I would be too spooked if I was a skeleton. That's all I'm going to say.
I would love to be a skeleton. Oh my god.
I think they did put out like a small like tutorial demo sort of thing before for Salmon Max that I haven't played, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I think the one they put out, it was just like a small escape room, and people were worried, oh, it's just going to be like a small little. It's basically going to be like another escape room VR game. From what I played, it was pretty like open, ended sort of thing.
You're in a dumpster.
Yeah, apparently they find you in a dumpster. Okay, disclaimer. I've never played a Salmon Max game. I'm not into point and click games.
I know of them, but I've never like seen anything.
My experience with Salmon Max games is Max as he's in poking out the inventory. The game you need to play to get hats in TF2.
Is that why you have it? Why do I have it though?
I don't know. It's like the heavy Max. I think. What's his name?
I think GLaDOS like a dealer at one point as well.
I think GLaDOS is in the second one.
Oh right.
Because there's two of them. There's one with like. I keep wanting to say Super Bad, but I don't know that's his name. There's like a Mexican wrestler internet character called Bad or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know all the characters. I think there's like Brock from the Adventure Bros in there as well. I didn't like the teleportation in this game on the Vive. I'm going to be doing a Vive review of this, I guess, because I have a Vive, the original one.
Right.
Vive
1.
The OG Vive. Not the Vive Pro, not the Vive Pro 2, not the Vive Pro 1.5, the Vive Cosmos.
How many Vives are there?
There's a few, actually.
Just like minor revisions between them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always a bit weird when they do the teleportation. You like press in the direction you want to teleportate, and it's on the weird like touchscreen. If you use the Steam controller, which I know you have, it's a bit finicky. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of like the touchpad sort of thing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't quite work like the way you expect it to.
But apart from that, the controls are fine. Like sometimes I wish there was physical joysticks on the thing. It's just, but the thing is, like, it's not impossible to get the teleportation to work on the Vive controllers. Half-Life Alyx works perfectly on the Vive controllers, but that's just like.
I think that's hard to implement for the developer,
VR, right? But I have like other games that have teleportation on them on the Vive controllers that are better than this. Like, so if you're going to be playing this on like, you know, the original Vive like me. Just keep that in mind that the controls felt a bit janky. But it was pretty fun. I mean, it starts off with this big like boss battle that you're immediately in and you're shooting this Hydra with RPGs. I feel like I should have dodged that, but no, apparently not.
Yeah, I would have said that's successful.
It seems like the game is mostly... It sort of moves from these big action sequences where you're dodging and shooting stuff, and then it immediately goes to like the offices where that's more of like the explore the room and find the stuff you need to escape sort of thing, or find the stuff that you need to do in that office.
I guess the personalities of the characters are kind of
I think this is like it's going to be a lot about like the comedic dialogue between Sam and Max, and then you're just going to be like exploring the madness in between. I think that was a lot of the appeal of the Sam and Max games again.
Yeah.
I've never played one. I think my brother plays them maybe. I don't know, so let's see again. So was Sam and Max a penny arcade thing, or am I just pulling that out my arse?
I have absolutely no idea. Like, I know very, very little about Sam Max.
Okay. Maybe they did collaborations with Penny Arcade. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I like how like Sam Max just pulling things out. He's just using fireworks to distract the Hydra so he can shoot his
Yeah.
RPGs and stuff.
Like, what's the story that they're freelance policemen? Like, what's...
Yes.
Right.
And they want you to join the freelance police so you can help them out. I think so. Sam is the dog and Max is the bunny.
Right.
And Sam's very much like, he's like a happy dog. He's like, yeah, we want someone to join the police. And Max is like, I don't know about this kid. Are you sure about him? He's more like,
he's skeptical.
Yeah. Whereas Max is, you know, typical dog,
Or,
just loves
cynical,
everything.
Maybe.
That's an interesting to say. I put on subtitles because I knew the dialogue was going to be pretty quiet if we were going to be talking over it and stuff, and I knew it would be a dialogue-heavy game sort of thing. I like having subtitles on my like normal games. I'm not a big fan of having subtitles on in VR. I find it like unimmerses me from the experience.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Like, imagine VR in real. Oh, not VR.
Imagine you're like talking to someone and they're speaking a different language, and then just closed captions just comes up with the translated responses.
That's weird.
That would be cool. So you get invited to the freelance police.
Would you not think you're in the Matrix?
Tony, the new Matrix trailer just came out. I don't know if you've seen it. They just put out a teaser trailer today where they had you go to a website and you take a blue pill or a red pill. And if you take the red pill, you get a different trailer to if you take the blue pill.
I'm not going to watch any trailers, but I'm just going to wait until it comes out. And then...
Keanu Reeves and the actress who plays Trinity are back in it, so...
Yeah.
I like how it's like you wouldn't just walk into someone's house, you got to knock first.
Yeah, that's realism.
Sam and Max is basically... Sam and Max have like cartoon violence rules, so they can kind of be like blown up and stuff. That was a great jump scare in the game from Max. You know, he hands you some TNT. I immediately toss it away because I'm a bomb defusal expert.
Right. Yeah. Wait, why did he give you TNT?
Because he's a cartoon bunny.
Was it meant to be like candles? He didn't know.
He got me a present. Basically, this is where after this the demo. Basically, to join the academy, you need to do these things to intern them. So basically, you make Sam coffee. You make Max. You make Max a hot dog.
Yeah.
You go and punch the clown for stress relief. Like you need to throw some weapons to prove that you're capable of throwing weapons. It's just a bit of wacky fun. I think. I'm not interested in the 2D point and click games because that's not my thing. But I like playing VR games, and I do like the characters and personalities of Sam and Max. So I'd say if you're someone like me who was like, oh, I've always wanted to get into Sam and Max, but I'm not a fan of that. Maybe VR version is for you. I think I'm going to check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, this is more interesting than the stuff I've seen on the other games. Whenever I see them, so
I will definitely check this one out. See anything else?
Yeah,
I'm making some coffee.
What does it sound like, Muck?
I don't remember. I've skipped ahead. I had to clear out some roaches with a gun.
Why would you shoot at... Oh my god, okay. Is this in America?
Oh, yeah, probably. But yeah, that's Sam and Max. This time it's virtual. I think it's an Oculus exclusive first.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be coming...
Is it?
Well, they have I downloaded this from their Steam page, so they're bringing it to Steam at some point on Steam VR.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, that's one of the VR games I'd check out. Next up, we have Pistol Whip. I haven't played a crazy amount of Pistol Whip recently. I haven't played a crazy amount of VR recently. I love VR, but if you don't know, it's really fucking hot in the UK right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like... I'm blasting like the AC like without being in VR, but when I get into VR, it's really fucking hot. Like I was literally like... I played Pistol Whip when it was a bit warmer, and I was sweating. My knees were gone.
Either yesterday or the day before, it's like up to 30 degrees again. Like, degrees C.
Yeah, no, that would be... What's that, like 100 or something Fahrenheit?
I don't think it's quite that much, but it is quite high. I mean, I can check.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
It's 86. It says, so it's pretty high. Pistol Whip's a really fucking cool game. You remember I was like playing that demo for what was it? Against in the Steam VR demos, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a big like I've played Beat Saber. It's a killer app for VR. It's really cool, but I'm somebody who doesn't want to just play a song and then play the same experience of hitting blocks over and over again. I like the idea of going through a level, feeling like a badass superhero, and having like set campaigns and stuff. And then I played like Against, and I was like, oh, this is really fucking cool. It has like bosses, different enemies. You can hit people. You can shoot guns. It makes you feel really cool. Pistol Whip's already doing this. Like, I hadn't played Pistol Whip at that point, but I picked it up in a sale. It was a good time to get it as well when I got it, because I don't know if you've heard about this, but recently a lot of VR games, what they've been doing is they've been like at cheap prices, usually, if they're like quite small VR experiences, and then they'll do a big content update, and instead of making like Pistol Whip 2, what they'll do is they'll put a lot of effort into making a big campaign update, like the Smoke and Thunder update that just came out for Pistol Whip, and they'll just what they're doing now is they're just increasing the price. So if you're somebody who's already bought the game, you get this massive update for free. But then they also like helps pay for the development time they put into making it. I think recently Pistol Whip did this, Space Pirate Trainer did this, and Waltz of the Wizard did this with their big update that they got recently.
Oh, right. I still want to play Waltz of the Wizard.
Unnatural Magic. I just got the Unnatural Magic Waltz of the Wizard game, the paid one, recently because it was on sale. So I'm going to try that one again because I loved the demo. I never played the full paid version. I only played the demo, and I thought Waltz of the Wizard was one of the greatest horror games I ever played in VR. So I would love to try that one. But it's interesting how like the monetization for a lot of these VR games is going. But back to Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip is fucking amazing. This is like one of the best VR games I've played. It's so much fun. Literally, I like fucking cycle every day, and after playing, Pistol Whip for 30 minutes, my knees are like killing me. It's just so much. It's so much fucking ducking and diving. It's literally like playing as John Wick in Beat. It's like John Wick Beat Saber. I think that's like one of their taglines. But it's made by Cloudhead Games. If you don't know Cloudhead, they're the people who they did Call of Starseed, another VR game I've talked about on the podcast Tangerine, and they also made the Aperture Hands demo for the Knuckle controllers for the Index.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they're quite a profit. What's that word?
Prolific.
VR developer at this point, where they're quite well established, and it's really cool to see great content for them.
They've got good technical skills.
Because my big problem with Beat Saber again was I love Beat Saber, it's really fun, but I'm not someone who just wants to play a song and then just repeatedly get better scores. I'm someone who's like I'm someone who likes playing stories, likes playing campaigns, having an end and a finishing, and there's just honestly like. As VR started out, it was a lot of tech demos, and there wasn't a lot of like full campaign story things. Whereas with when Half-Life Alyx came out, that kind of like shook the whole thing. It was like, well, you can actually make like a full game in VR.
Well, loads of people
with like a
got
campaign
an actual VR headset at that point, right? So you have a bigger audience potentially.
But right now, I'm playing the story campaign for. It's like this is the first Cyberpunk one you play. I think there might be about 6 of them. And that completely changes the style of the game as well. So you get a new gun, and the gun progresses throughout the story. So I'm getting like cybernetic enhancements added to me through the story. And I think like at one point that you get like an automatic pistol upgrade. And as the story progresses, there's even like a boss battle with a ship. It's really cool. Oh, at this point they took your ammo, so the entire time I'm dodging bullets and meleeing these guys and ducking.
I was wondering.
Fucking turrets.
You've got no health, apparently?
No, I've got health. That means I've got full health. When it goes red, that's bad. So you see this HUD, this isn't shown in-game sort of thing?
Yes. It's different to
Half-Life. I love this feature for like people who stream or record games like me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it's really useful to have a different HUD for the spectator HUD to make it easier for other people to watch.
Yeah, because I think just what you saw, I wouldn't be able to understand what's going on.
Even if you don't stream it, even like me and my brother, you know, pre-COVID, we would load up a VR game, and one of us would watch while the other one played.
Yeah,
it's always more useful if you can see what's going on when someone else is playing, sort of thing. Oh damn, it's getting interesting. I got to dodge lots of bullets. So the way I'm playing on easy because I haven't played that much Beat Saber yet because of sorry, not Beat Saber, Pistol Whip yet because of the heat I explained earlier. But I'm still improving, so I was just trying to play the campaign on easy and trying to learn it. But it's really fucking fun. I can't.
Yeah, it looks very energetic. I'll say
yes.
that. I can see why you get
I love like. You're dodging, you're punching, you're shooting. It's great. And it's like, it has full campaigns that you can complete and stuff. Like, this has a full story.
Yeah, that's very satisfying.
And they just did... The reason they increased the price was because they did the Smoke and Thunder upgrade. So there's like a full... This is the Cyberpunk one. There is a full, like, Western theme now. Where there's full stories where... You'll have like mine carts and you can shoot like explosive kegs to destroy enemies and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. So when it gets colder, because we're like 4 months away from Christmas now. We're so close.
We're rapidly getting close to autumn.
I remember I played Half-Life Alyx. I think I played Half-Life Alyx on like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or something like.
Really?
And that was prime weather for VR. It was nice and cold.
Yeah, it was quite cold this time around, wasn't it? I'm wet.
I like when you start punching people in time with the music. It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I'll skip ahead just to show you some more of like the campaign.
Is there any point, like, other than like just feeling good? Is there any point to hitting someone in time?
Oh, you get more points if you're on rhythm.
Oh, okay, right.
So if you shoot on rhythm, if you reload on rhythm. If you like hit on rhythm, it's more points. So at this point, you get like a semi-automatic pistol. Oh, another thing I love to see: there's accessibility options. So if you're like disabled or you're really bad like me, there is actually options to like have no kill mode or like no obstacle mode, so you don't have to move around as much.
I swear we always go on to like, it has accessibility options. We always go towards them, like, and it's good for everyone because you just have more options.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
Even like if you're not disabled, you don't have any like issue. Like you still like just change it and customize it to how you want to.
Having more options is always a good thing, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And it helps people that actually like do need them as well.
Yeah.
Like it's good for everyone. Like just invest into adding these sort of options to your games. That's what I'd recommend.
But for a medium where one person can be completely fine and one person can be awfully motion sick from stuff, like having different options for this sort of stuff is definitely like a good idea.
Some people can't can't I don't know, like same sort of stamina like for the whole way through, for example. Like I guess you could take breaks, I guess, but I don't know. If you want to keep playing, I guess there's options for help with that.
But there's even like, I'll skip to the boss battle. There's even like a shit boss battle. We have to like shoot the red core and the gun turrets while he's shooting these giant barrages of bullets and you're trying to dodge them, and it's fucking epic. Oh, it's so cool.
Skynet.
Yeah. I cannot highly recommend Pistol Whip enough. If you're somebody who has VR and you've played like Beat Saber before and you were like, oh, it was cool, but then I got kind of bored because I don't want to.
Yeah, I want more.
I don't want to do the same thing over and over again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is more of like you can have set stories, campaigns, like objectives and stuff like that. That's more of the sort of stuff I like. So that's why I would highly recommend Pistol Whip.
I could see myself playing both Beat Saber and Pistol Whip, to be honest with you. Like I kind of like playing on what I'm feeling, but again, I started to get VR.
Well, I definitely still do like play Beat Saber every so often. It's still a really cool game. So
yeah.
But yeah, and then we'll move on to the final one, which is something I think I alluded to on an earlier Tangerine. Prey VR. Guys, there's a Prey VR game. Did anyone else know this? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah, no idea until
let me tell you how
a
you
couple weeks
access.
ago now.
Let me tell you how you access Prey VR, because everyone's gonna be like, "How the fuck are you playing Prey VR?" Inside one of the DLCs for Prey is a VR mode.
So you have to clarify. So you have to buy the base game.
Yep.
Buy this DLC.
Yep.
Which adds another executable into your Steam list.
But this DLC is bundled with the other DLC, so it's even hidden in the DLC as well.
Oh my god! Okay,
so if you're
buy a bundle with DLC in that has its own launcher.
So if you want to buy Prey Typhoon Hunter, the DLC that this is on, so Prey Typhoon Hunter is the like the prop hunt.
Yes.
Is like the
multiplayer prop
It's
hunt.
basically prop hunt with mimics. Mimics can become anything in the world. It's like prop hunt. To get that, you buy the Moon Crash DLC, because the Moon Crash DLC now includes Typhoon Hunter. You can't buy Typhoon Hunter on its own anymore.
Okay, right.
I think they did that in order to like try and make the DLC more work, because the Prey Typhoon Hunter reviews are very bad, and I think it's a real shame because all of the negative reviews are for the prop hunt section, and then you sort by positive reviews, and they're all saying, "I played the VR version; it was really fucking good."
Why didn't they just make the VR version a separate DLC?
That's the sad thing. Is like nobody knows about this, and then the people who have it probably don't even know it exists. Because the VR, this VR Prey is so fucking good. I talked about this before. We need more simulations of immersive sims. Turns out it's really fucking immersive to be inside your immersive sim.
Yeah.
So the setting for Prey VR is you're actually... I would say you probably want to play it after you played Prey 2017. There's a lot more context there. You could technically play this before. I don't think it would be too much of a problem. But I would say like
spoilers. What you're saying?
No, but
context is missing.
Not if you've seen like past the first 10 minutes of Prey.
Right.
And because essentially here what you're doing is you're setting up Morgan's apartment to be the constant simulation that gets revealed in the first 10 minutes of Prey.
So kind of like it's kind of like visual cleanup. What's it called? Visual cleanup simulator.
Visual cleanup detail.
Detail, that's it, but like before instead of after.
Yeah. So it's like a prequel to Prey, and like, it's so fucking cool, man. Like, just Prey's one of my favorite games of all time now. Prey's 2017. That is not the weird boomer shooter game that I haven't played. It's actually, it's basically it's like a puzzle game. There's like 3 puzzle room style games, and then there's a museum where you get to see like some of the characters from the Prey 2017 game up close and personal in like a museum type. I'll talk about this when we're going to do a double whammy, I think, soon, of Bioshock 1 and 2 remastered, and the Bioshock 1 also has a museum of like you can go around and look at like early concept art of like all of the characters. You know, Little Sisters were initially like slugs. But then they were like, they're initially going to be like slugs that just suck at Adam, and it's like, oh, players don't care about killing these. This is no longer a moral choice. We need to make these like actually players care about them. So then they were like,
the thing about humans is they're kind of bastards. They don't give a shit unless they look like humans.
So like that's where the infamous puppy in a wheelchair meme comes from. We're like, we needed to make the guys that gather Adam's puppies in wheelchairs for the players to care about them.
Oh, okay, right.
But yeah, it was like, so that's another game where I saw like a museum. 2 immersive sims to the museums, Tony. There's a trend here.
But yeah, I'm starting to see a trend. Yeah.
I like museums and games. Me and you are constantly talking about the Insomniac Museum in Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I love having these little immersive experiences where you get to go and interact with behind the scenes stuff, with game development of stuff you really love. Like I love Ratchet and Clank. I love Prey. I love Bioshock. I want to know more about the development. I want to know about what was going on there.
Because sometimes they make like a mini documentary about it behind the scenes, but a lot of the time they don't. So, like having like this like snippet of like how they made the game is very interesting.
So let's just talk about like let's get out of the way. The Typhoon Hunter non-VR version is basically Prop Hunt, and I think a lot of people were complaining that it's basically a bad prop hunt. The servers are dead because nobody plays it, so there's no single player portion. And then apparently it's running on an entirely different engine to Prey, so it looks worse and feels worse than Prey.
What? Why would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the Prey engine couldn't handle multiplayer. Maybe that's why they changed the engine.
Yeah, and they just picked up like a package that already existed. Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's go back to the VR. The VR is really fucking good. So this is Dr. Lorenzo Calvino's office. If you've played the DLC, if you played the main game, you'll know exactly who that is. He's always complaining to his assistants about.
Who are you playing as at this point? Then the same.
I guess you're playing. I guess you're playing as Calvino here.
Okay.
Yep. Or it kind of sets up at the beginning that you're entering a simulation, so maybe you're simulating yourself as Dr. Calvino for this example.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Prey. So if you know Prey, it's simulations on simulations, and you're just like, this is so trippy.
It's Inceptions, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good. Just walking around these environments that I've explored on my own outside.
They are
of
impressive
VR.
environments, right? So, like be able to like actually like see them properly is interesting.
So this is really fucking cool. Oh, you get to inject. You know, like with the neuromods, you have to inject yourself in the eye with them. You get to do that in VR. You'll love to see it.
That's kind of scary.
You have to like inject a hacking neuromod into yourself in order to solve a puzzle. So you get to inject one into your eye to. Here it is. You get to shove it in your eye.
Oh no! Oh god!
Here we go, guys. It's like that scene from Dead Space, right?
Yeah. I was just actually thinking, like, imagine that scene at the end of Dead Space 2, but in VR. Oh god! Oh my god! That's terrifying. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's
see your brain
really
cells.
fucking cool. And then, like, inside VR, you start... It's the Matrix... We're talking about the Matrix, Tony. We get to see the Matrix now.
It's a good thing about the Matrix, actually, because it'll come full circle.
Yeah, it's full circle. But the thing about the Matrix is it's kind of like it's a virtual simulation of a world.
Yeah, absolutely. And just that you interface with it differently.
I couldn't figure out what this puzzle was trying to tell me for the longest time until I realised it was like a... What's that word? Simon Says? What's that game where it's like... Beep, 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 boop, and you have to push it afterwards? It took me a long time to figure that out.
I just quite kind of Simon Says, but yeah, it does have like its own name.
I was struggling to figure that out. But basically you set that up, and then you get to set up Morgan's apartment, so you get to put the different layers on, because his apartment's being simulated in like on Earth sort of thing while he's on the spaceship.
Yeah.
I don't think you actually get to see like the final product. You get to see like the outlines. And then that's the first one. I'm dancing.
Render that one.
I'm happy.
Just put your hands up in the air.
The second one then is another puzzle inside Morgan's office. This is something you will be incredibly familiar with if you've played Prey, because it's basically like the hub of the game is Morgan's office. This is where you craft everything. This is where you break down all of your resources into recycling materials. But basically there's a short puzzle here where you basically, I think in this you're developing one of the first ever coral scanners, which a coral is basically like the Typhoon material that is impervious to the human vision. Humans can't see it, so you're trying to develop a way to see it, and then you also are developing the Void Wave, which is a way to fight the Typhoons.
Yeah,
which is pretty interesting, and it's basically like this small little puzzle sort of thing. I just figuring things out. It took me forever to figure out one of these puzzles. You're trying to get this operator dispenser, but to get the code, you need to read this number sequencer, and I was like, is it the Fibonacci code? What am I supposed to be? I was like going crazy. I was like, I'm not googling this. I'm going to figure it out. So there's like half an hour of gameplay of me just being like, I'm trying to figure this out.
You tried 1-1-1-1, right?
I don't want to spoil too much in case people want to play this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, that one's really cool. And then finally,
really interesting.
I think like this one like hit me the hardest, where you get to like explore that. There's Daniel Show and Abigail 4, and they have like a relationship in the game, but you only really get to experience it through like that. That's the big thing about Prey, is it puts you into like this place where pretty much everyone's dead. So you're experiencing the stories of others through like audio logs, through their emails. Like you're like a voyeur in other people's lives, and you're just kind of walking through this because you don't even know
like archaeologist, I guess.
Because the thing about neuromods being removed is it removes your memory, so you don't even know who you are. So you experience the world through other people. That's what makes it like a really interesting game, and like coming back to these places and knowing what happens is it is like fucking
that's how you write like a good like prequel thing, like you knowing what happens like actually then changes like how you would otherwise
one thing I'll say, because this place is a karaoke bar and it's played up like it's a lot scary. I will say one thing about this is if you're there's not really any like jump scares or anything in this, just to let you guys know. It's not as like spooky as Prey is. Prey definitely has a lot more creepiness. This is more like light-handed, I would say. No, you're not gonna. There's no like action sequences or anything like that. I'm so happy they rectified this misjustice. In Prey 2017, you can't play the instruments. In the VR game, you can actually play all the instruments, which is really fucking cool. But the puzzle of this is basically you need to get through a door. And in order to get through the door, this is something you also do in the main game. You need to find recordings of this woman, so you can synthesize a AI to get her voice to unlock the door. And in order to do that, you need to find the recording of her karaoke performance. So that's where the karaoke stuff comes in, and you get to like listen to it and play music along with it. But it's so fucking sad, like seeing the romantic relationship between these two women, and then just playing Prey 17, and then they have this like romantic candlelit dinner, and then I fucking love VR games in space, and just looking at the moon and the Earth here, and I'm like, oh my god, this is.
It's so romantic.
I can't wait. You need to play Prey 2017. It's a fucking masterpiece, and like the Prey VR game is really fucking good too.
It's on my list. I'll say that.
You gotta.
For me personally,
if you're a fan of good games, if you're a fan of Arcane, definitely check it out.
I don't know if I'm a fan of Arcane yet. Like I've not yet played.
You never played like Dishonored or anything?
I mean, I'm already saying played instead of played, so I think I must be a...
Even Scorn Retorts has played Dishonored, so you've got no excuse now. No. So this is a reference. They've got like custom dye, because throughout the game they have like custom D&D characters in their rec rooms, and there's a whole quest, like optional quest you can solve that you have to use like these maps they've drawn around the space station, which is really fucking cool to follow. There's so much like deep lore for the nerds of Prey like me inside this VR game that it's a disservice to yourself not to play this if you're a Prey fan. It's good. And then of course we have like the Prey Museum, and you get to see a fucking nightmare in VR, and I'm just like, holy shit, this thing's huge. Thankfully they don't they're just like they have the basic animations, they don't attack you. Yeah. This is the like Phantom. That's the basic one. There's the
Nightmare is that like
the Nightmare is the fucking like. I remember I almost like I almost don't want to spoil it, but at this point
you pet the mimic.
Yes, you can. It's kind of like a head crab from Half-Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember just playing through the game. Like I try to go and play like as blind as possible, which I would recommend to anyone. meeting the nightmare for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Like, what the fuck is going on? The nightmare is
Yeah.
such an interesting point of Prey. That and it has so many options of how to do it. Like, you don't even have to fight the nightmare, you can evade it, or you can even there's an entire side quest where you can go to like a satellite dish to have it immediately get tracked off you by opening this moon door. But to open this moon door, you need to upgrade your like engineering, and it sends you down a completely different tech tree. And
It depends on how you put points to spend, I guess.
What I'm saying is, Praise of 2017 is a fucking well-made game. It's well-rounded. All the tech trees are good.
You know what? It's so good. I might just call it Prey and forget about the old Prey.
Okay, well, I think that the Boomer Shoot Prey is a well-loved game. So there is people out there.
Yeah, but I don't love it, and I didn't really know about it until this game came out. So
until we get it back on digital platforms, we'll just call this Prey.
Well, this is the first Prey I knew of. So
yeah.
To me, this is Prey. But I do think it's so stupid that you don't like. Yeah, it'd be nice if like this series had a different like sub name or something.
When I heard the name Prey for the original game, I thought it was going to be like a horror game because you hear Prey and you're like,
yeah, that makes sense. Like an alien sort of game.
Well, it is an alien game, but I mean, like when I hear Prey, I think of like Fear. I think of the game Fear. Yeah. But then the first Fear isn't even what you think Fear is. When you think of Fear,
it is weird.
When you think of Fear, you think of Fear 2 and you think of creepy girls.
Yep.
Fear 1 is more like an actual slow motion boomer shooter.
And don't get started with Fear 3.
Oh god. Alright, that's a good point to end on. Guys.
What, Fear 3?
That's the VR roundup. Those are 3 VR games I've played in this hot summer. Hopefully I'll be playing more once it cools down. I have so many games lined up to play. I've been picking up lots of VR games in the sales and stuff, so I'm definitely going to be checking it out.
Summer's still here, unfortunately. So
once it's gone, I will be back in the VR for sure. All right, that's the end of Tangerine. Goodbye.
Bye.